Hi, today our topic is environmental education. Environmental education, it increases people's knowledge and awareness about the environment and the problems environment is facing. It helps in developing skills and expertise so that those problems can be addressed. It helps us in make informed decisions. And take responsible action. Take responsible action. So we can say environmental education increases people's knowledge and awareness about the environment and the challenges environment is facing, and it also develops skills and expertise to address the environmental problems or issues so that informed decisions can be made and responsible actions can be taken. One more time, so we can say environmental education increases people's knowledge and awareness about the environment and associated challenges. It also helps us in developing skills and expertise of the people so that environmental problems can be addressed and informed decisions can be made and responsible actions can be taken. Or we can say like this, we can say environmental education teaches individuals and communities to shift to a society that is knowledgeable about the environment, and its issues, has necessary skills and expertise to address those issues. Expertise to address those issues. So in short, we can say that environmental education, it awares the people about the environment, it increases their knowledge about the environment, it helps us in developing skills and expertise of the people so that they can address different environmental issues, and it also helps in so that they would be able to make informed decisions and take responsible actions with regard to the environment. Now, objectives of environmental education. If we see what the objectives this environmental education has. This environmental education, as we have seen here, it helps us in creating awareness. Awareness about the environment and the challenges environment is facing. It increases people's knowledge about the environment. Awareness about the environment, it increases people's knowledge about the environment. Education is imported for conservation and protection of environment, imitate the natural ecosystems. Imitate means copy, imitate the natural ecosystems. If we see the natural ecosystems, they do not produce wastes, or the wastes produced by one component of the ecosystem is being utilized by the other component of the ecosystem, so that there are no net wastes, or there are no net wastes produced by the natural ecosystems. It also helps us in developing skills and expertise to address different environmental issues, so that we are able to make informed decisions and take responsible action. So these are some important objectives of this environmental education. Now, if we see scope of environmental education. Environmental education, it is multidisciplinary. In approach. Because there are different components in the environment. For example, there are plants which can be studied under botany, animals under zoology, water under hydrology, atmosphere under atmospheric sciences, rocks under lithology. So there we must know different branches of the science, or we must know different disciplines. Only then we can study the environment. Not only science, some branches of social science as well. So this environmental science, it integrates different branches of science and social science, so that environmental problems or environment can be studied. Broadly, this environment is studied under scope of environment is studied under three headings: education from the environment, from the environment, education about the environment, and education for the environment. Education for the environment. If we see education from the environment, in this we learn from the environment. As we are studying, we imitate the natural ecosystems. Here we learn from the environment. We are learning from the environmental systems, so that we can make equal human systems on the pattern of natural systems. Education about the environment, like we are studying different education, we are studying different species, we are studying different processes which occur in the environment. Education about the environment. In this education about the environment, we just study our environment. For example, we study different components of the environment. We study plants, we study animals, but we are studying these as a whole. The approach is holistic approach. We are studying plants, animals, soil, water. We are studying all those together. So we are studying different species. We are studying different processes which are occurring in the environment. So in this education about the environment, we just study different things about the environment. But education for the environment, this is very important. This is mostly what we do in schools and colleges and universities. Education for the environment, we study environment, we study environment for the conservation of the environment. So this education for the environment, it is for the well-being of the environment. So mostly we study the processes like the conservation or sustainable development, so that the environment, so that we can develop or we can have other material benefits without degrading the environment. Now, levels of environmental education. Levels of environmental education, I am writing it easy. We see here are broadly two important levels of environmental education. One is formal education. Formal. Second is informal education. All these things which we have studied here, we can study those things in our schools, in our colleges, in our universities, or we can study these things out of schools, colleges, and universities. If we study these informal structure in schools, colleges, or universities, we call it formal education. So it is mostly primary education, secondary, and tertiary education. So this is being done in schools, higher secondaries, colleges, universities. Informal education is out of school education. Informal education, for example, we are aware or we are increasing knowledge of the people is because through different mass media. Through different mass media, for example, through TV, through radio, or through newspapers. That is informal education, for example, or we are providing the environmental education through children activities, through some foundation, through some foundation courses, through panchayats. Etc. So these are informal education. In primary education, mostly we sensitize the children, the kids about the environment. Mostly we sensitize the kids about this environment and also create awareness among the children. In secondary education, besides awareness, we are increasing their knowledge. We are providing them real life experiences through different case studies. Real life experiences through field visitors, in labs, etc. At tertiary level, this is what is being done at college and university levels. Here we are mostly focusing on conservation, sustainable development, human ecology, environmental health, environment management, etc. So this is what the environmental education is, what its objectives, scope and levels of environmental education are. We have studied this briefly. So this is enough for today. Thank you.